I like real people. You know what I mean? People that are really struggling and really have a desire to change their life. Cause people who you know always have been doing good. Once the real not win a little bit of adversity. Cause to be a winner, you've experienced some adversity. But people who always have been winning and have never really had to struggle to win. Those aren't the people that I really like. The people that I really like is people that are really struggling and really have a desire to change their life, and really they have the will to win and the desire to win and the desire to change their life, and really the will to just change their life. Did the bad things, but they're coming back to do the good things and really transform their life, and change the way that they are and undergo transformation, in their mind, in their body, really make more money, get a better physique, train harder, really achieve what they want to achieve. Those are some real people. Those are some people I can have an appreciation for. So if you wanna talk about like the struggle and the difficulties that we all go through, I think that the struggle really helps people grow. Cause you know let's say that you're a fighter, right? You go through the training camp, and there's obviously the fight night, but the fight night is such a small component of what it really means to be a fighter. You know what I mean? You have lots of fights. Maybe some of them go the distance. 5 rounds. 5 rounds of 5 minute rounds. And a title fight. Let's say you have a few title fights. Maybe in your whole career you only have 3 hours of time actually in the octagon performing. That's a lot of time. 3 hours, to be fighting. But nobody talks about all the training camps that you had leading up to all these numerous fights. You know what I mean? That's the real struggle. The struggle is in the octagon. That's just when you go out to perform. Sometimes there's struggles there, but there is struggle in the octagon. But the real struggle is being consistent every single day. Showing up every day, showing up, in the gym, working on the jiu-jitsu, working on the kickboxing, working on the wrestling, working on the taekwondo, working on the MMA, really training, showing up every single day, multiple times a day in the gym. And that's a real person. That's a real person, really struggling to, improve and get better. And I think those are some people that we all can have an appreciation for. So if you want to be an appreciated person, I think that you also have to struggle. I think that there's a beauty in the struggle. I think that when you're really, working hard and things aren't going your way, but you still persevere through and you still perform, even if you don't achieve what you wanted to achieve, you can say that at least you still tried. Or you didn't achieve what you want to achieve, but at least you achieved, something not quite what you wanted, but you still achieved at least something. So I think that there's a real appreciation that we all have for people that really dedicate themselves to something and really work hard towards it. And I think that if you want to be that person who can really go through and be appreciated for the struggle, I think that you have to be a professional, and you can't be acting like a novice in there. You have to change the way that you think about yourself. Because right now, if you're on a come up and you're trying to get better, you're trying to improve in something, it has to be a mentality shift. You can't view yourself as a novice or as a beginner, someone who's trying. You have to really believe that you can achieve what you want to achieve, and there has to be an identity shift, right? You have to really believe that you can achieve what you want to achieve before you can do it. There has to be a real desire to improve and a real desire to win. Because if you want to get better, you have to show up every single day, and that's what separates a professional from an amateur or a beginner. A professional shows up no matter what. Let's say soccer, professional. You still have to go to the practice and every single training and all the meetings, and you have to still show up to everything. You may not practice, but you still have to just show up, even if you're injured. Still show up every single day. Still be around the game, be around the sport. Still watching the film, still doing the things, still being with the team. Even if you're injured and you can't play, you still have to be with the team. No matter what you're really going through or what you still have to show up, right? Because if you just show up, somewhat consistently instead of, incredibly consistency, you're not a professional. You know what I mean? Professionals show up no matter what. So that's the emphasis of this video, is that no matter what you do, you know, even if you really have to have the desire to improve. If you want to achieve what you want to achieve, there has to be a real desire to achieve what you want to achieve. So you have to show up every day. You have to do the daily disciplines. And it's not easy, but you have to be consistent. So I have lots of videos on consistency. So that's what. Go watch those videos. Really trying to help you out here. You know, what separates the amateurs from the professionals? Consistency. And not just consistency, but showing up every single day. And what separates professionals from the champions? Professionals show up every single day, but the champions really show up with 110% every single day and really give it all their effort, you know, every single day, even when there's nothing really to give. You know, they still go 110% in effort, really trying to learn, really trying to get better. Yeah. That's the message. Yeah, hopefully you can kind of relate to this video and it kind of helps you out in some way, shape, or form. I also have a community, Vegas Academy. It's a school community where I teach you how to be consistent. There's other guys in there that can help you. It's only very cheap. We're doing a New Year's sale, $9 a month. Go check it out.